Hello, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'll talk about some basic things, or Sanctum 101, if you will, that should help you become more successful with your Sanctum explorations. First off the bat, do your act quests. I know they're quite easy to miss, but they are very important. So you start in Act 2, find Divinia in town and she will direct you to the Fellshrine Ruins, where you have to find the hidden chamber. Now, the wording of the quest might suggest that it's close to the cathedral, but it in fact can spawn anywhere in the area. On minimap it shows up just like any other Sanctum encounter, so don't get confused trying to find something different. This quest unlocks your relic altar, and relics are very important. Plus, this also unlocks Divinia to appear in your Sanctum runs as vendor. The next place you find Divinia is Act 7, where she yet again directs you to the Fellshrine Ruins and you have to find the same hidden chamber. Of course, it's not in the same place as the previous one, that would be too make-sensey. Here you will be able to access another room in the chamber that lets you get cursed pacts in your Sanctum runs. These can be very powerful, so it's well worth your time to pick them up. Now that you've gotten that sorted out, let's talk about Sanctums themselves. When you start the Sanctum for the first time, after acquiring your relic altar, you'll be able to select some of your relics to take with you on your runs. Relics matter! I cannot overstate this enough. Relics can make a huge difference in your runs, and the deeper in Sanctum you get, and the higher level Sanctums you do, the better relics can drop potentially, and starting from monster level 75 you can drop blessed relics that give you bonuses outside of Sanctums. Now that you've locked in your relics, you can start your Sanctum, and you are presented with a floor layout. Sanctum consists of 4 floors, and each floor contains 7 rooms, plus a boss encounter. You can find following room types in Sanctums: Arias, Treasure, Minor, and Major. These rooms will drop you some amount of Arias coins that you can spend at a vendor or purchasing fountain. Some of them cost 150 coins, so it's good to have some coins. Item offers. Here you can choose between 3 options: get some currency now, at the end of the floor, or at the end of the Sanctum, unless you're really confident in your ability to complete Sanctums. Bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush, as they say, so make your choices wisely. I personally usually choose the rewards on floor completion if it seems like I'll be able to do it, and only in the 4th floor go for the end of the Sanctum reward, as you know, we're almost there anyways. Fountains. These guys will restore some of your resolve. Benevolent fountains. These guys grant you a random boon. They cost 150 coins, so pay attention before heading for one of these bad boys, cause if you don't have the coin, you'll leave empty-handed. Radiant Fountain. Always go for this fountain, as it's like Benevolent Fountain but on steroids. Grants you a random boon and takes away a random affliction, plus grants you 200 inspiration. It only costs 5 Arias coins too. Afflicted Fountain. Unless you have a specific setup where you gain buffs on gaining afflictions, best avoid this unless you're desperate. It can renew up to 50% of your maximum resolve, but will impose a random affliction on you. Accursed Pact. Here you can interact to choose one or all of the offered pacts. Pacts come with an upside and a downside. The bigger the upside, the worse the downside. But it can also be very beneficial for you. Again, it all depends on what you've picked up beforehand and how your run is going. You always have to choose one Accursed Pact. Once you've chosen, you can interact with the item reward statue. Vendor, aka Divinia. You will come across a room that contains Divinia and you can spend coins in her shop. She always sells you resolve recovery, but also boons and relics. This can be one of the ways of getting extra relics early, as she can sell you some quite interesting ones. Boss rooms. These rooms can be found at the end of every floor and have special icons for each floor. Here you will find the floor boss that guards the entrance to the next floor. They have quite telegraphed attacks, but taking damage from them will hurt your resolve quite a bit. Being speedy and sticking to their back I found works best, also DPS helps. Killing all bosses for the first time will unlock extra slots in your relic altar. Purple border on the room signifies that you will gain the affliction stated on the node. Read carefully, as there are some really nasty afflictions out there. That covers all the room types. Now let's talk about room layouts. And boy, does layout matters, as you can go from a quick stroll of finding an exit to having 2 fire-breathing skulls trying to burn you down while being pelted by projectiles from the guards. Some of the rooms are required to unlock slots in your relic altar, so pay attention to the room names till you've unlocked all the slots as soon as possible. These are mostly rooms containing mini-bosses. Rooms with the same name will have the same layout, so playing Sanctum a few times lets you master the layouts, making runs themselves much easier. Here's a handy dandy graphic of all the layouts and what you can find in them. So the last thing I'll touch upon is my strategies of completing Sanctums. I'm still pretty early in the progression, as I'm just taking my time, but I've managed to complete Sanctums a couple of times so far. Both times what worked for me is stacking a bunch of inspiration. I've slotted relics that grant me inspiration at the start of each floor, and starting Sanctums gives me a bit of inspiration. I try to buy boons from Divinia that provide more inspiration, etc. There was a run I had over 1000 inspiration by the end, and it really does take the pressure off. Hope this guide was helpful, and let me know if you are liking the new Sanctum mechanic. Bye, bye, bye.